stakes are possibly life and death, which means I need my collection of mustaches in order to snoop around undetected. For Lassie?
Oh my gosh.
Name's Sean Spencer. This is my partner, Lego, my ego.
No.
Ding Dong Ditch. Nope. Norman Brown Butter.
From now on, I do the nickname.
No, absolutely not. We can't just stop doing bits we've been doing for 10 years. Wait for it.
Here go boss son.
It is now, more than ever, that we need the comfort of television to escape. The cult classic USA Network show Psych has long been that comfort for many. Thankfully, come mid-July, the renowned duo of Gus and Shawn return to solve one more case and crack a few jokes. Is Psych 2, Lassie Come Home well worth the wait and escapism we have all been desperately craving? Let's find out. Lassie Come Home follows up to the events of the first Psych film, with Shawn and Gus away from San Francisco to investigate the near murder of Chief Lassiter. Of course, what they find grows into a deeper plot, one that might actually involve supernatural entities as they do their best to duck law enforcement and even their loved ones of Jules and Salome.
I've heard it both ways.
Nearly 14 years after the pilot episode, the chemistry between series leads James Roday and Dule Hill is at an all-time high. The bromance launched zinger after zinger, dance in step, and follow-up cases with their usual unorthodox, even childish approach. Within moments of them being on screen, you're cracking a smile on your face. This relationship hasn't missed a beat, and like Michael Jordan, is one of those elements you're safe to assume will always bring its A-game.
Lassie, is that what I think it is?
The first Psych movie unfortunately was almost all but a moment without Tim Omenson, Chief Lassiter. The actor had a stroke, one that obviously took time to amend to. Writers Steve Franks, James Roday, and Annie Berman not only wisely wrote this stroke as a side effect of the trauma, but also gave a rather heroic moment of grace to the wounded hero. That initial pain of seeing a beloved hero in that position, like Lassie, definitely melts your heart, but the arc is good enough to crack a smile and even release an allergy-related tear. His cleverly written arc is tied to the not-so-secret relationship with his father, played by Joel McHale. Unexpectedly, this leads to some fantastic emotional moments between the two that have some pretty great chemistry, and even explains the stubbornness we see in his character.
What are you looking at? Go home!
Unexpectedly, Lassie Come Home deals with some emotional elements that felt fresh for the franchise. Shawn and Gus are basically two children, in adult bodies. It's one of the reasons we immediately gravitate to them, but it's also not entirely realistic. The movie addresses this with that late blooming thought of, it's time to grow up. It's subtle, but it leads to, dare I say, the best scene in all the series, a touching moment between Henry and Shawn. It felt like the 14-year history of Psych had been leading to this scene, and it comes out in a well-acted, well-written scene that perfectly demonstrates the relationship between the two. Psych fans will be happy to see a variety of character favorites get their moments. Jules, played by the always great Maggie Lawson, hasn't lost a step. Her pairing with Salome creates an almost opposite side of the coin situation to the famed duo of Shawn and Gus. Chief Vic is as sharp as ever, and some fans will even be delighted to see McNabb in a sharp suit, and Woody being as goofy as ever. On a technical standpoint, Lassie Come Home's narrative is just okay. Besides playing into the rear window elements of being bound by a wheelchair, witnessing a crime, the movie is relatively straightforward. The villain plot isn't as thought out as some of the best episodes, and it makes the end result a bit muddled. It goes without saying that the strength of the writers is in a usual episode form, and that's why the pacing does feel a bit rough at times. The episode treads into odd, even weird territory, and honestly, probably would have benefited from more of that. That being said, what makes Psych so special is the characters.
I don't need to see him, Shawn. Some people are just born evil. The kid from The Omen, the Children of the Corn, Chad Michael Murray.
As soon as the famed intro comes onto screen, you'll immediately find yourself grinning. Mentions of Pluto and Jules will keep fans clapping from their seats. The future of Psych will forever be different, and will lead to some fascinating questions posed by the fans until there is hopefully a sequel. Within moments of the movie playing, you'll be asking yourself, what do we have to do to get this show back? Lassie Come Home, like its predecessor, isn't a perfect film, but is exactly what psychos need now. A smile, a tear, and a reminder that their friends are always there for them. As for a sequel, or maybe a revival series, I say, wait for it!